Did you know that despite billions of dollars spent every year on anti-aging creams, most of them fail to deliver real, long-term results? Wrinkles still appear, skin continues to lose elasticity, and visible signs of aging progress even for people who follow elaborate skincare routines with absolute discipline. The promise of youthful skin in a jar has become one of the most powerful ideas in modern wellness culture. Yet the results rarely match the expectations. This raises an uncomfortable but important question. If anti-aging creams truly worked the way they are advertised, why does skin aging remain such a universal experience? The answer lies not in a lack of effort or consistency, but in a misunderstanding of how aging actually works. Anti-aging creams are often positioned as solutions, capable of reversing time, repairing damage, and restoring youth at the surface level. However, aging is not a surface problem. It is a biological process driven by internal mechanisms that operate far beneath the outer layer of the skin. When these deeper systems are ignored, even the most expensive products are limited to cosmetic improvements rather than meaningful change. The real cost of relying on anti-aging creams is not just financial. The greater risk is misplaced confidence. When people believe they are actively slowing aging through topical products alone, they often overlook the internal factors that quietly accelerate the process. Inflammation builds, oxidative stress increases, and cellular repair mechanisms weaken over time. Skin aging continues, not because creams are poorly applied, but because they are being asked to do a job they were never designed to perform. One of the most fundamental reasons anti-aging creams fail is that they operate almost entirely on the surface of the skin. Most formulations are designed to hydrate, temporarily plump, or smooth fine lines in the epidermis, the outermost protective layer. This can create a short-term improvement in appearance, especially under certain lighting conditions. However, these changes are superficial. They do not address the deeper biological structures responsible for firmness, elasticity, and long-term skin integrity. Wrinkles and sagging originate from changes in the dermis, where collagen and elastin fibers provide structural support. Over time, collagen production declines, existing fibers break down, and the skin loses its ability to maintain tension. These changes are influenced by age-related declines in cellular repair, hormonal shifts, and chronic low-grade inflammation. Throughout the body, topical cream, no matter how advanced, cannot meaningfully reverse these internal processes. This is why the results from many anti-aging products are short-lived. Skin may appear smoother immediately after application, only to return to its baseline state within hours. The improvement was visual rather than biological. Moisture temporarily fills fine lines, reflective particles diffuse light, and tightening. Agents create a fleeting sense of firmness. Once these effects wear off, the underlying aging process remains unchanged. Another major limitation lies in the ingredients themselves. Many anti-aging creams highlight powerful-sounding compounds, such as collagen, elastin, peptides, and antioxidants. While these substances may play important roles inside the body, their effectiveness when applied topically is often overstated. The skin's primary function is to act as a barrier, protecting the body from external threats. This barrier is highly effective at preventing large molecules from penetrating into deeper layers. Collagen, for example, is a large protein molecule. When applied to the skin, it cannot pass through the skin barrier to integrate into existing collagen networks. Instead, it sits on the surface, providing hydration and a temporary smoothing effect. Antioxidants face similar challenges. Many are unstable and degrade when exposed to light, air, or heat long before they can exert any meaningful biological impact. Even when a product contains ingredients with potential benefits, bioavailability becomes a critical issue. For an ingredient to influence aging, it must reach living cells in sufficient concentrations and remain active long enough to produce an effect. In many cases, this simply does not happen. Without advanced delivery systems, most active compounds remain confined to the surface, contributing more to marketing appeal than to true anti-aging outcomes. This disconnect between ingredient science and real-world results creates a cycle of disappointment. Consumers are encouraged to believe that the next formulation, the next breakthrough ingredient, or the next luxury brand will finally deliver what previous products could not. The focus remains fixed on topical solutions, while the deeper drivers of aging continue unchallenged. Perhaps the most overlooked reason anti-aging creams fail is that skin aging reflects the internal state of the body. Chronic inflammation plays a central role in accelerating aging at both the cellular and tissue levels. Inflammatory processes damage collagen, impair skin barrier function, and disrupt normal repair mechanisms. These processes are influenced by diet, sleep quality, stress levels, and metabolic health, none of which can be corrected by a cream. Oxidative stress further compounds the problem. As cells generate energy, they produce free radicals that can damage DNA, proteins, and cell membranes. When antioxidant defenses are overwhelmed, cumulative damage accelerates aging throughout the body, including the skin. Topical antioxidants may offer some protection against environmental exposure, but they cannot compensate for systemic oxidative stress driven by poor nutrition, chronic stress, or metabolic dysfunction. Blood sugar regulation also plays a critical role in skin aging. Repeated spikes in blood glucose promote a process known as glycation, in which sugar molecules bind to proteins like collagen, making them stiff and brittle. This leads to loss of elasticity and deeper wrinkles over time. No topical product can undo glycation that originates from dietary patterns and metabolic imbalance. Hormonal changes further influence how skin ages. Declines in estrogen, testosterone, and growth hormone reduce collagen production and slow tissue repair. Sleep deprivation, common in modern lifestyles, suppresses nighttime repair processes that are essential for maintaining skin integrity. During deep sleep, the body releases growth hormone, which supports cellular regeneration and collagen synthesis. Without sufficient restorative sleep, the skin's ability to repair itself diminishes. Regardless of what is applied externally, marketing often obscures these realities by framing aging as a problem that can be fixed from the outside. Claims of wrinkle reversal and age erasure are built on short-term visual effects rather than long-term biological change. Tightening agents may temporarily contract the skin, and light-diffusing particles may soften the appearance of lines. But these effects do not reflect genuine rejuvenation. Over time, the gap between expectation and outcome leads to frustration. Consumers may interpret failure as a personal shortcoming, assuming they did not use the product correctly or long enough. Rarely is the underlying assumption questioned, that aging is primarily a surface-level issue. This misunderstanding keeps attention focused on creams, while the true drivers of aging remain unaddressed. When viewed through a biological lens, the failure of anti-aging creams becomes less surprising. They're limited by skin anatomy, ingredient delivery, and an incomplete understanding of aging itself. Aging is a whole-body process, shaped by cellular health, metabolic balance, inflammation, and repair capacity. The skin reflects these internal conditions rather than operating independently from them. Recognizing this does not mean skincare has no value. It's protecting the skin barrier, maintaining hydration, and shielding against environmental damage are all important. However, these functions are supportive, not foundational. Skincare can help the skin look and feel better, but it cannot override the biological processes that determine how we age over decades. Understanding why anti-aging creams fail is not about dismissing them entirely. It is about placing them in the correct context. When the focus shifts away from surface-level promises and toward the internal systems that govern aging, expectations become more realistic. This shift opens the door to strategies that align with how the body actually works, rather than how aging is marketed. By reframing aging as an internal process with visible external expression, it becomes clear why creams alone have never been enough. The pursuit of youth through topical solutions was always limited by biology. Once this is understood, the disappointment surrounding anti-aging products gives way to clarity, and the conversation around aging begins to change. If aging is driven primarily from within, then the most effective anti-aging strategies must also begin internally. This is where the conversation shifts from disappointment to empowerment. When the focus moves away from surface-level fixes and toward the biological systems that regulate repair, inflammation, and metabolism, aging becomes something that can be influenced in meaningful ways. Skin health is not an isolated outcome. It is a visible reflection of how well the body functions as a whole. Nutrition plays a foundational role in this process. Skin is constantly renewing itself, and this renewal depends on the availability of essential nutrients. Amino acids are required for collagen synthesis. Healthy fats maintain the integrity of cell membranes, and micronutrients such as vitamins A, C, E, and zinc support repair and antioxidant defense. Diets dominated by ultra-processed foods deprive the body of these building blocks while simultaneously increasing inflammation and oxidative stress. Excess sugar, in particular, accelerates skin aging through glycation, stiffening collagen fibers, and reducing elasticity. No topical cream can counteract years of dietary imbalance, but improving nutrition can gradually restore the internal environment that allows the skin to function optimally. Equally important is metabolic. Modern lifestyles often involve constant eating, which keeps insulin levels elevated and limits the body's ability to shift into repair mode. Periods without food allow the body to redirect energy away from digestion and toward maintenance and cleanup processes at the cellular level. These processes help remove damaged components, reduce oxidative burden, and support tissue resilience. Over time, this internal housekeeping contributes to healthier skin structure and slower visible aging. While creams can temporarily smooth the surface, metabolic balance influences how skin ages over years and decades. Sleep is another pillar that cannot be replaced by skincare. During deep sleep, the body enters a state of active repair, growth. Hormone secretion increases, supporting collagen production, tissue regeneration, and immune function. Blood flow to the skin improves, delivering oxygen and nutrients needed for renewal. Chronic sleep deprivation disrupts these processes, leading to dullness, increased wrinkles, and slower healing. Many people attempt to compensate for poor sleep with more elaborate skincare routines, yet the biological damage continues unchecked. Restorative sleep remains one of the most powerful, yet overlooked anti-aging tools available. Stress management also plays a critical role. Chronic psychological stress elevates cortisol levels, which directly accelerates skin aging. Cortisol breaks down collagen, impairs the skin barrier, and promotes inflammation. Over time, this hormonal environment leads to thinner skin, increased sensitivity, and deeper lines. No topical formulation can neutralize the effects of chronic stress hormones circulating through the bloodstream. Reducing stress through consistent routines, physical movement, and mental recovery practices protects the skin indirectly by stabilizing the internal signals that govern repair and breakdown. Physical activity contributes in similar ways. Regular movement improves circulation, delivering oxygen and nutrients to skin cells, while supporting detoxification through lymphatic flow. Exercise also enhances insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, and supports mitochondrial health. These effects create an internal environment that slows aging across all tissues, including the skin. While exercise does not directly erase wrinkles, it supports the systems that determine how quickly skin structure deteriorates over time. Hydration is another internal factor often misunderstood. While topical moisturizers help maintain surface hydration, overall skin hydration depends heavily on internal fluid balance. Adequate water intake supports circulation, nutrient delivery, and waste removal. Dehydration reduces skin elasticity and resilience, making fine lines more visible. Combined with a diet rich in water-containing foods, proper hydration supports skin function from within rather than masking dryness from the outside. When these internal systems are supported, skincare takes on a more appropriate role. Rather than being viewed as a solution to aging, it becomes a supportive tool that protects and preserves what the body is already capable of maintaining. Sun protection, for example, plays a critical role in preventing external damage that accelerates aging. Ultraviolet radiation breaks down collagen and increases oxidative stress in skin cells. Consistent protection helps preserve structural integrity, allowing internal repair. Mechanisms to work more effectively over time: gentle cleansing and barrier supportive. Moisturization also contribute to skin health by reducing unnecessary irritation and water loss. When the skin barrier is intact, inflammation is minimized and repair processes function more efficiently. In this context, skincare complements internal health rather than attempting to replace it. The skin responds not because of the cream alone, but because the underlying biological environment supports healing and maintenance. This perspective reframes the failure of anti-aging creams in a more constructive way. They did not fail because aging is inevitable or because self-care is pointless. They failed because they were given a role that exceeded their biological capacity. Aging was never something that could be reversed from the outside alone. It is shaped by cumulative internal signals that determine how cells function, repair themselves, and respond to stress. Understanding this distinction changes how people approach aging. Instead of chasing increasingly complex topical products, attention shifts toward habits that influence long-term outcomes. Progress becomes slower, but more durable. Skin may not transform overnight, but gradual improvements in tone, resilience, and texture reflect genuine biological change rather than temporary visual effects. This shift also reduces frustration when expectations align with biology results. Feel more meaningful. Cream is no longer expected to reverse time, but to support comfort and protection. Aging becomes less of a battle against wrinkles and more of a process of maintaining function and health over time. The visible benefits emerge as a byproduct of internal balance rather than the primary goal. Ultimately, the failure of anti-aging creams points to a larger truth about health and longevity. The body is an integrated system, not a collection of isolated parts. Skin aging mirrors the state of that system. When metabolism is balanced, inflammation is controlled, repair mechanisms are supported, the skin reflects those conditions naturally. No product can override this reality, but habits aligned with biology can influence it profoundly. The idea that aging could be solved with a cream was appealing, because it promised simplicity and control. But biology rarely operates in such narrow air. Terms, aging unfolds across years, shaped by daily choices that influence cellular health. When these choices are aligned with how the body actually works, the skin becomes less of a problem to fix and more of a signal to listen to. In this way, understanding why anti-aging creams failed becomes liberating rather than discouraging. It removes the pressure to find the perfect product and replaces it with a clearer path forward. Aging is no longer framed as something happening to the skin, but as something shaped by the body as a whole. And once that shift occurs, the pursuit of youth gives way to the pursuit of long-term health, resilience, and balance.